Parallel to the emotional discussion about drought is the anger at the Murray Darling Basin Plan, another government invention and a complete stuff-up. Put simply, it's about buying back water from farmers because of environmental flows. No other country in the world talks about environmental flows. Already this $13 billion program, that'd keep the farming industry alive, wouldn't it? It's already taken from irrigators 1,300 gigalitres of water, almost 3 Sydney harbours. But they want more. 2,750 gigalitres, 5 Sydney harbours for environmental flows. People here believe that government is involved in a deliberate conspiracy to deprive farmers of water and undermine Australia's food security. Or is it about destocking the nation so that fewer animals will break wind and we'll have less carbon dioxide? So we'll boast to the world. What do you reckon? Yeah. Eh? Eh? You know all about breaking wind. I know about that. So we boast to the world that we've met the Paris targets. I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up. Meanwhile, Walgett and its 6,000 residents are drinking brown, brackish bore water. Dubbo, where we are now, Narromine, Warren, Cobar, Nyngan, with combined populations of 50,000, are either running out of drinking water or on punitive restrictions. Hillston, Forbes, Parkes, Manila, Cowra, Condobolin and Lake Cargellico, with combined populations of more than 36,000, will run out in March. Tamworth is predicted to run out of water in June. 66,000 people. In Queensland, water is being carted from everywhere to Stanthorpe. Meanwhile, environmental flows have removed from farms and communities so far 3 Sydney harbours, and they want more. In communities around here, water is flowing past towns and farms and they can't touch it. No access to it. The Murray Darling Basin Plan is a political disgrace. John Barilaro is the Deputy Premier of New South Wales, one of the few people to talk sense, and he stirred them up today, and they're after him in Canberra because Barra is saying he'll rip the thing up, and they haven't stopped cheering. I thought we'd have him on. Barra, it's over to you.
Well, thanks, mate. And yeah, I've copped it today. David Littleproud must be the only politician.
David who?
Littleproud. He's the only politician I'm hearing.
Excuse me, David Littleproud?
is the only minister that I'm hearing wants to continue on with buybacks. And the reality is when you buy back licences, you're actually destroying communities, because without those licences, you don't have farming, you don't have irrigation, you don't actually have a future for regional rural New South Wales. So we might as well just pack up and give it away if I listen to David Littleproud, and I copped it today. And I don't apologise. I've made it absolutely clear when we get this review back in a couple of weeks, the review that, of course, the feds in South Australia objected to, that Victoria and New South Wales came together on. When we get this review back, that'll give us the argument, and we've already sought legal advice. I'll rip the bloody thing up and walk away, because I'm fighting for Team New South Wales. We have no more water to give, and we're not going to give bloody water to South Australia so they can have their yacht regatta in the lower lakes, which was once upon a time a saltwater lake. Correct. And yet we want to somehow pretend that environmental flows are more important than people, and that's my concern, and that has always been my concern from the moment we got re-elected. I've made this my #1 priority, Alan, and if we don't do this, we're going to give up, and that's the problem.
John, I was there when the whole plan was put together. Now, I wasn't in government, I was in opposition, and this is not what was promised, right? These communities were sold a pup. Yep. They've been delivered now, you know, lack of livelihood, towns that are really struggling, farmers, as you know better than anyone. The once great National Party sits there now, not in Canberra. What you are saying is what people from the National Party have fought for country people in the past. But your colleagues in Canberra, it's like they're from another party. How do you get the National Party to see sense on this? Well,
I've got to be outspoken, and I'm going to cop criticism. I'm sure tomorrow a few more ministers will come out and kick me. But
you're answerable to the public.
Absolutely.
And that's who you're responding to. They have put you there to do their bidding, and the public are saying what you're saying.
Well, Alan, I said to you on radio this morning, if we can't fix this, mate, we might as well all give it up, and we should all be shown the door. Because at the end of the day, we were elected to look after community first.
John, it's immoral, surely, for farmers to be in the middle of drought, the indignity of the people behind you here, facing water restrictions. There's water available and we're putting it into environmental flows which exist nowhere else in the world. Someone in Canberra needs to understand there's actually nothing wrong with the dry river.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you know, we always talk about intervention. You know, if you take humans out of this. Those riverbanks would have been dried, centuries ago, decades ago.
What happened to the Murray Darling
right.
in 1880?
Right.
There was no Murray Darling Basin Plan because there weren't politicians stuffing the whole show up.
Yeah, look, my view is this: if there's not enough water for everybody, everyone gives up. So the environment has to lose, irrigators will lose, everybody lose. But you can't punish communities and give it to the environment. And we're actually seeing some detrimental effects of these water flows for the environment. We're down at the choke, where we're flooding the red gums down in the Murray. We're actually
water's flowing over the river.
Absolutely, into the marshes, and there is no science behind it. It is flawed. We'll get the review back, and my threat is, and I said this clearly today, it's not just an idle threat. If it's not good for Team New South Wales, we will walk away. If it's the end of the Murray Darling Basin Plan, and if they want to threaten taking money away from us, from infrastructure, well, let's have that bloody fight.
Well, here we are. We've got a stack of people behind us here for the locals. Right or wrong, eh?